All right, hello everyone and welcome. Got some Grand Arena to play today on my SWGOH Loquitur account. We are going to do that. Might play a game or two of Alpha League afterwards if people want to see some more of that. Been working on my updates today. I did manage to get a couple of those done this weekend, so I'll have hopefully I'll be posting updates throughout the next week and we'll get caught up on the Loquitur updates. That would be nice. And then we'll keep going forward from there. How you all doing? Hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. Hope you're making it a great day. Sean Unavailable says hi. BB Aftermath says, get it, DL? All right. Well, we got it in the last round. So we've got 1 win, 1 loss so far in this round of Grand Arena. We bounced back down to Kyber 3. We bounced back up to Kyber 2. So we're Kyber 2.9. Holding on to Kyber 2, but not by much. I'd like to get a couple wins in here. Push myself a little further up into Kyber 2. But this is where we're at for now. The opponent for today is Nonsens. He's a general. He's in the Hungary Guild. So, guess he's from Hungary. Either that or he just wants something to eat. 4.6 in ships, 7.4 in characters. Galactic War Battles won 38,000. That puts him at 9 years played, 9.5 almost. Oof. That's almost since the beginning. That's nonsense right there. All right, let's take a look at his stuff. Ships, we expect him to have almost everything. So Leviathan, Profundity, Executor, all the capital ships are here. A few things that aren't relicked. Zori Bliss not relicked. Ebonhawk needs to be relicked. So a couple ships here, but otherwise, as you would expect, the rest of the ships are relicked. So we're at a disadvantage in fleet. He's got all 9 Galactic Legends. And then all of the other stuff that you would expect to see. Balin, he's got Darkside, Ray, Vision, Bane, Night Sisters, all of the stuff. Does he have Balin? You know, I'm not sure I saw Balin in here. No, he doesn't. He actually doesn't have Balin. Okay, so there's one thing that he still doesn't have, but okay. Pretty much all of the other stuff. Not too much reason to scout through accounts at this level. It's we pretty much know they're going to have in the rest of their account. It just matters what's up top. Let's take a look at mods real quick. Moff Gideon, fastest non-GL character, 358. Not bad. Those are the same numbers we have on our Moff Gideon, except instead of 358, it's 385. 345 on Commander Ahsoka Tano. Mara Jade, 344. That's a pretty speedy Mara Jade. If we see her, we'll have to beware. Great Mothers, rocking some pretty high speed, 323. Okay, indeed. All right, so this character, this guy has all the ships, all the characters, and good mods. Almost all the characters. All right, defense-wise, we have Ahsoka here with no exile, but she does have the Ahsoka level 9 Datacron. We've got Dash Rendar with a level 9 Dash Rendar Datacron. We've got Gungans. We've got Luthen with the Kyle Katarn Kron. And then down here on the bottom, we have Sana with a Sana Staros level 9 Kron, of course. Queen Amidala, and then here we have the Exile with the Ray. And then we have his Leia team on defense. So I think what I will do, I will bring in my unaligned Force user team with Starkiller and Malicos, and we'll try to kill Ray that way. We can try to use our Bane on the Leia team. JMK on the Queen Amidala team. Leaving us with Sana Staros that I'll have to figure out what to do there. And then up top, we can use our own Leia on his Ahsoka. Bo-Katan Mandalore should be able to beat the Gungans. And then we'll have to figure out what we're going to do against Dash and Kyle Katarn. But that should give us a chance of getting through here. If we start dropping battles, it's going to go from okay to bad really quickly, because a lot of these things, what we have has to work. If it doesn't work, we really don't have good alternative options. We'll take this gigantic armor penetration that we have. That's been a good Datacron for this Bane team. Kyber Soze says, hey DL, I'm listening in, not watching all the action. Helping my kids make dinner for their mom. Oh, nice. Hey DL, good luck. I'm playing old school RuneScape as I listen to you. Nice. What kind of playstyle advice can you give someone who's coming back to SWGOH? Jar Jar says, be so pleased to be seeing all the Gungans. Hi DL. What advice can I give to a player who's coming back to the game? I think the advice is the same for almost everybody. Depending on where you're at, how much galactic power you have in your account. You first have to secure fleet placement in Fleet Arena. Getting top 5 in Fleet or just even top 10 in Fleet gives you a lot of crystals, helps you build your account. So if you don't have Leviathan or Executor, you should probably finish one of those journeys if you've been out of the game that long. If you've already got Fleet and you can manage your Fleet Arena placement every day, then I would say work on some of the older Galactic Legends. If your account's over 6 million already, and you're coming back to an account that's over 6 million, then the standing advice that I have is work on the new stuff. So all the Bad Batch stuff that's coming out, you know, as that becomes farmable, you'll start farming that. All the marquees that come out, you'll start doing those. And as you work on the new stuff, then you can go back and fill in the old stuff. So you'll pick like one of the older journeys and start doing that. And then as the new stuff comes out, you'll always get the new stuff as a priority. But as long as you're able to do hard conquest successfully, it gives you a lot of flexibility in what you build. And it used to be that there was a lot of wrong answers. There was a right way and a wrong way to do a lot of stuff in the game. And now it's pretty forgiving. You know, almost any Galactic Legend team or any major team that you build will be powerful in some way. There's a lot of lifters in the game that have helped characters. But yeah, if you're coming back to the game and you have low galactic power, focus on fleet and conquest. If you just started the game and you have like 1.2 million galactic power, my honest opinion would be to completely start over. Just start over, buy the hyperdrive bundle, and that way you'll be in a new fleet shard and you can get those crystals. So it all depends on where your account's at right now. All right, let's take Bane in here. And let's try to survive for a few rounds here. Okay. Usual stuff so far. Got a nice hit off there. Who'd we kill? Mon Mothma, I think we killed. Oh, wow. took away our protection already. Insanity. Okay. Not looking good here. We'll target Drogan. Actually, I think I'm going to target R2-D2 because a lot of that other stuff's pretty dead. Okay, now we did see one of these Leias ult and hit the ult for the full amount. Okay, we're not going to see this Leia do it. But completely zeroed our life bar in one hit with the ult. So I think if she would have got to the ult, I might have just timed that out and tried to come in and clean up Leia. But we did. We got her killed. All right, and then Exile here, we're going to select our UFU squad. It's a combination of Malicos and Starkiller in a squad of Unaligned Force users. And we're going to add one more Unaligned Force user here. And that can be... let's pick somebody good, I guess. I mean, we could pick Mara Jade, couldn't we? I don't think there's any reason it has to be a light side Unaligned Force user. We could take Stick Ray. Or we could take Mara Jade. I think we'll just take Stick Ray, do some more damage, see what happens. We've got a Cal Kestis Kron that we can throw in here. Okay. So there we go. And we'll start working our way through this. I have 76k galactic power, so I may do what you said about fleet. It was Executor or Endurance, right? Okay, I got to make sure I play this right. I've got a starting guide that will explain to you how to work your way through the early game. Let's try to get her into damage immunity. There we go. With an Executor first journey. So if you want to look that up, you can look that up as a starting guide, and it will give you hopefully all the information that you need to start your account in 2025 and go for the Executor. All right, here we go. Try to knock these stacks off Array. Okay. Into the ult here, we got to clear that off of him, and then we can come in and start clearing stacks off of her. And we're going to lose Sirjunda here, which is unfortunate. Ooh. And we lost Sirjunda before Rey did her ult. That is not fantastic. Okay, let's do this. Okay. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. All right. Let's come over here. Doesn't do us any good to do the ult with Starkiller because Exile here has damage immunity. How about now, though? Wow. That's crazy. He took like no damage from that. Okay, let's throw rocks. That should be it, right? Wow. He survived that too. 50 stacks. Okay. We got him though. Not a pretty win. 57 banners. We'll take it. Let's look at General Kenobi then. Okay. Fill in all the characters. And we'll just kind of put a garbage character in this last slot. Doesn't need to be that good. But I do want a character there. Okay, let's see. We could take a mediocre cron here. 15% max health and protection. This one's fine. A little bit of tenacity, some crit chance. Should be good. Take that in. I will definitely do that because I want to enjoy the game. I just can't get the ball rolling the way I want it. Well, I think the game has changed, and now I hate to say this or be discouraging, but it's not a free-to-play game anymore. When you start the game, you know, buying the hyperdrive bundle makes a huge difference. So you get the hyperdrive bundle, and then as they start to offer light speed bundles, if you don't buy those light speed bundles, you will very quickly be left behind all of the other people in your Arena Shard and Fleet Shard who do buy the light speed bundles. So for new players just joining the game, it has become sort of, I don't even want to say pay to win, because that's not really it. It's more, what would be the language to use? Pay to keep up? I think that would be maybe a better, more accurate way to state it. And the Lightspeed bundles are good value. So, I mean, if it's pay to keep up and you had to buy a bunch of garbage, that would be one thing. But it's pay to keep up, and like they just offered a Relic 9 character for $5. So those Lightspeed bundles, they cost a little bit of money, but the value on them is extremely high. So it's not like they're making you buy garbage. You're buying stuff that's, you know, good for you. And then the Lightspeed bundles before that actually gave the Profundity capital ship journey. So you could have, you know, if you're playing the game then and you were working on Executor, suddenly, you know, you're better off just skipping the Executor and building the Profundity out of that pack. But yeah, so if you're a competitive person, you may find that you won't enjoy the game as much if you don't pay attention to those things and keep up with the Lightspeed bundles. But that's kind of how the game is played now. You know, you start on a journey, you buy the Lightspeed bundles as they come along and fill in the gaps. You know, the Lightspeed bundles never give you the full thing directly. It's always like all of the parts you need to do the mission or something, and then you got to finish the requirements out to the right relic level, etc. Blurry says I'm more casual than competitive. Yeah, I mean, if you're, you know, yeah, again, I don't want to be discouraging, but I did a free-to-play account, and, you know, I tried to play completely free-to-play, and it was really hard. I'm a competitive person, so don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm good at sitting back and being casual. But yeah, not buying the Lightspeed bundles really made the experience hard for me. I did that project for a little over a year, and my conclusion was, yeah, even if you're a pretty casual player, you do need to take a look at those Lightspeed bundles. It's worth thinking about. Okay, what am I going to do here? We've got this Sauna team, and I would say it's a mid-level Sauna team. We don't have Han, Chewie, some of the more nasty things that we could have in here. I don't really feel like I want to use a Galactic Legend here. Let's go take a look and see what other people are doing. We'll look this up on SWGOH.GG, and we'll see what people are doing against Staros teams. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say it's got to be in here. Bo-Katan, Malgus, Bad Batch, interestingly. Bad Batch has a 100% win rate. CLS has a 100% win rate against this exact team comp. Interesting. Interesting. So if CLS has a 100% win rate against this team comp, that seems like the right move to me. SWGO Gameplay says, how are you? Hello, DL. Free-to-play has a lot to offer nowadays, but there's easy to have light speed bundles. Made the game really hard for completely free-to-play players. Yeah, SWGO, that's my experience with it too. It's what happens if you're completely free-to-play and you don't buy the light speed bundles, you just get completely pushed out of Fleet Arena. Even if the offering for light speed bundles isn't directly for a fleet, a lot of times the characters that they're offering are relic characters. And then all of a sudden people have these kind of weird looking fleets, but they're all Relic 5, Relic 7 characters, and you can't beat them in fleet. And once you can't get fleet crystals, it just takes a really long time to get anything done. Okay, let's take this Hanacron. Now, what do I hit first here? I feel like I have to hit Captain Han first, right? Because if we don't kill Captain Han, he's just going to get free turns and resurrect people. So this Datacron says, whenever an ally is defeated, Captain Han Solo gains a bonus turn, resets his cooldowns. Yeah, so it absolutely has to be him first, or we don't have much of a chance. So Relic Pilot on 4 to 5 star ships does a lot in the early game. So, yeah, so what SWGO's gameplay is saying is that if you got the ships, even if the ships are at low stars, when you put a high relic character into those ships, it's pretty nasty to deal with. Okay, in we go. Kill Captain Han first. So we shoots first, and we shoots Captain Han. Okay. Well, that's weird. What just happened there? The boat left and I was not on the boat. So Cara Dune died. And Captain Han, from what I saw, did not get a bonus turn. Or maybe he was stunned and he got his bonus turn and then he just wasn't stunned and that was it and I didn't notice. That could be. It could be that it happened that way. Okay, working our way through the team here. Lando's next. He doesn't know it yet, but it's about to go badly for him. Cara Dune getting her potency up all the time. We need to get Luke. There we go. We just needed a timing where we could either get rid of her buff with Luke or Chupio. And it turned out we could get rid of it with Chupio. Okay. Success. Back wall. Sisters. We'll work on sisters with Gas has been our go-to for this. It didn't work against the Night Sister version with the two brothers in it. And then we've got this team. Interesting. So this is Imperial Remnant with Dark Trooper Moff Gideon in the lead. And then the Knight Brothers. Now, I put together a Padme team specifically to try to deal with the Knight Brothers. So I really want to try this team out and see if we can make it work. If we've got the timing right here, we should be able to take a turn with Padme and then all the other characters and trigger a whole bunch of courage stack. So 270 speed on Padme. We had to slow Grandmaster Yoda down a lot, 268. So these characters all should be close to Padme, but just below 269 for Plo. Ayla, 268. And Shakti, 269. So all of those characters are within 2 speed points of Padme. So the goal would be to get rid of Beskar, Gideon, and then Enoch, and then work our way through the rest of these guys. And Gideon here with this turn meter removal isn't going to do anything to us, right? So, okay, let's give this a try. Let's give this a try. All right. Since I did have to slow people down, it doesn't surprise me that they're getting to go first here. We lost a character already. That's brutal. All right, here goes Padme with her deal. And then Shakti will apply courage stacks, courage stacks, courage stacks. Enoch. We'll just do a basic. Apply some courage stacks. Yoda, instantly killed. Okay. Turn meter up isn't going to do much, right? Let's try to keep Shakti alive here, but she's got healing immunity on her, which makes that hard to do. Let's buff herself here, give her speed up. See if we can speed our way out of this. Plo's down. Okay. All right, so now, unfortunately, they just hit Shakti several times, which is going to make it hard for her to have any courage stacks. I feel like Enoch has to be the next bet, but let's try to take out Moff Gideon if we can. Let's give ourselves speed up on Shakti again. Wow. We're doing no damage to that Moff Gideon. Holy cow. All right. Let's go for this again. Courage stacks. Nothing. Wow. Wow. Moff Gideon's immune to damage. I realize he can't be crit, but still, we got to be able to do more than that. All right, so the experimental team was quite ineffective, honestly. To be honest. I guess Yoda's really a bad choice there. He's easy to kill. And we also lost our Ayla very quickly. So, well, I'm not too impressed with what that team did. That's not fantastic. Let's look and see what else people are using to kill the remnant these days. The version with Enoch in it. Wow, people are using Malgus all over the place. Now, my Malgus team is a little weak, but especially with Dark Trooper Moff Gideon already gone, I think we could try that team. Oh, we put them on defense, though. We just put the Malgus team back on defense. Okay, well, we can take a look at Sith Eternal or something like that, depending on how the rest of these battles work out. Let's go back up front and try to work our way through this front wall, and then we'll come back to the back wall and see about finishing that up once we have a better idea what this looks like. Rebel stuff. Here we go. We didn't need Phoenix. I don't... So my options here are to use Jin and Radis. And that's kind of a good version of this team. I think I better do that because if I drop this battle against Ahsoka, then I don't know what I do from there, right? So let's take this Kron in there, armor penetration, a bunch of resistance penetration for us, for Drogon. Okay. And the way that we saw this played out before, I think we killed Ahsoka first, and then Padawan Sabine, and then we killed Ahsoka herself, if I remember right. You didn't use Relic 9 Cup? He's a Galactic Republic support. My Relic 9 Cup does not have mods as of this GAC. I suppose I could put Relic 9 Cup in future iteration of that team. He would be quite survivable. That's something to look at. Probably a lot better in there than Yoda for sure, because Yoda died. Yoda's made out of paper, man. I like that character, but I hate that he's made out of paper. Okay. So we're going to put Drogon in the hidey hole here. Okay. And then we're going to leave Jin out here to take the brunt of whatever they want to do. And we'll try to kill Fulcrum here. Wow. That ult was crazy fast. Okay, Drogon, get her. She's down. And like I said, I think we took out Padawan Sabine next when we did this the other day. Okay. Now we got to get on Ahsoka before she gets completely out of control. Right? See if we can light a couple of these characters on fire. Okay, they're attacking Jin. And that's fine by us, right? Okay. No. Get out of here. Stop it. Make the bad woman stop. Okay. Now let's do an assist here. All right, we got her. We got her. We can call the ATST here in a second, right? Isn't that what that thing's called, an ATST? Pew, pew, pew. Now I gotta go look. Come on. Sort by power. Okay. These are my friends. Require 100%. Ambush, rebels, fracture. It doesn't say in the ability? It doesn't say in the ability. Arnar. Now, if somebody can chat can confirm that. That thing is an ATST, is it not? I had a Google Play account that I bought the Hyperdrive bundle on, but I don't know if I can log on to it on my phone. Accounts have numbers, so if you can ever get back to your account, you can link it to every device that you have. I'm playing right now on a PC. I've played through BlueStacks. I played through the PC app that they have, and I've played on Android and on iPad and iPhone. And I've always just been able to link my account up. But you have to be able to get into your account in the first place. So you would have to get into that account through Google Play and then link it to your device. It's definitely possible. I tried Cup with Padme when Padme first came out, and it wasn't good. Not an R9 Cup, though. Old Geezer Gamer says it is an ATST. Okay, all right, good. I'm not going crazy then. Or at least I'm not going crazy about that particular topic. Maybe if I get BlueStacks and link my account to that. I mean, if you want it, you can get it. You can get it linked. You know, guys, I got to say, it is cold in this room today. I am going to sit in my chair instead of standing up. And I am going to, I'm going to add some warm clothing. Don't laugh at me. All right. I have a bathrobe. It's a Chewbacca robe, right? My wife got it for me as a gift many years ago, and it's super warm. So I don't really use it as a bathrobe. I just kind of use it as a coat. But yeah, I just Wookified myself. All right. Okay, so let's get back into the GAC then. Boris Balkan says, cool robe. I have a picture of my daughter wearing this robe when she was like 4 or 5. And it's hilarious. I mean, the robe is so big on her tiny little body, but she just looks in the picture like she's having so much fun wearing her daddy's clothes, you know. I don't know. It's one of those pictures, if you're a parent, you know what I mean. It's one of those pictures that you look back on and you're just like, it brings back all the memories of, you know, that time and what you were doing and how it looked and how you felt, and I don't know. So yeah, I have a very, very nostalgic picture of my daughter wearing this robe. Okay, so we can get Gungans with either Bo-Katan or Jedi. We've had a Jedi team that's been very successful with that. We've mowed down Mon Mothma pretty easily a few times. But I feel like we've used CLS there also. Gas would take this out, I'm pretty sure. Let's go look it up. Let's click on some buttons over here. Wampa. Oh, Wampa has an 87 win rate, but not against Luthen. Luthen kicks it up a notch, right? People are using Inquisitors against this team all over the place. Yeah, Inquisitors and gas seems to be the answer. Wow. We've still got a couple Galactic Legends in the bank. Oh, that's not a Mon Mothma team. That's a Saw Gerrera team. Oh, I'm looking at it one way, and it's actually another. It's a different team. Yeah, it's the exact same thing. People are using Inquisitors, Balin, Jabba. 87 times people have used Jabba against this team. CLS. Wow, Jedi Master Luke has an 85% win rate against this. That's crazy. That's crazy. A lot of people are using Bane and JMK on this team. We might have wasted our CLS team, boys. Maybe we should have waited for this with our CLS team. Yikes. Bo-Katan Mandalore has a 50% win rate against Luthen. Wow. Yeah, we don't have any of that. We used our CLS team already. Inquisitors are on defense. We used Bane already. Gas is pretty much it. Gas has a 100% win rate against the Luthen version. Gas has a 100% win rate, and JML has an 85% win rate. So if we're going to use gas for the Night Sisters on the back wall, surely those Night Sisters can be beat by JML, right? The moms, great mothers. Let's take a look and see if anybody's playing. Oh, no. Wow. JML has a 59% win rate against the sisters. Have I just fundamentally misplayed this? All right, here's what we're going to do. Because gas has such a good win rate, we're going to take gas in here. And then I'm going to take in SLKR versus the sisters. That's what we're going to do. So let's do this. Let's give them a good Datacron. Something that has a good armor penetration, potency, offense. That seems fine. Let's take that. Okay. And I would love to target Kyle, but we got to get rid of that recruit. He's taking all the counterattacks, though, which that's going well. I'm going to get rid of all of those blind. And we're going to try to take out this Kyle Katarn. Successful. Oh, wow. And then Gas just throws down. He says, I am done with this battle. And he ends it. Nice. Okay. Now we have a Hondo. I've got a Hondo problem and need to find an answer. Okay. Smuggler's 100% critical avoidance. Okay. So this isn't the 100% dodge one then. Smuggler allies critically hit, they gain 100% crit avoidance. Okay. Okay. This is Beskar Mando, I think. Whenever an enemy is stunned, Dash takes a bonus turn. Light side allies, damage over time, smuggler ally critically hit, armor penetration, tenacity. Why wouldn't Imperial troopers beat this team? We could just go in there with Imperial troopers. And as long as we're going first, they don't really have a mechanic to get back in the game. Question mark. So this should be can't this work? I don't know if we really need to make it work. We've got some pretty good teams, but I kind of want to find out. If this does work. Let's look it up. Are people playing Dash, Rendar on defense? People are using gas against it. Bo-Katan Mandalore has a very high win rate. Sith Eternal cleans it up. CLS. Wow. 0 attempts at a team like this with Imperial troopers. Zero attempts. That means that there's something here that I don't understand. There's no Enfys Nest. I don't know what it is, though. I don't know what it is. Let's just check Dash Rendar and make sure that I'm not doing something stupid here. I mean, if he gets off his days, we're in trouble, right? But this should be just us killing the IG-11 in the first round. And then Queel, and then getting turn meter, and then Hondo. How does this not work? I mean, nobody's doing it. 0 attempts. 0 attempts with troopers. Blurry says, yes, I got the account back. Let's go. Nice. For science. R. Scotty Wells says, Iden? Question mark. Yeah, between the Remnant team and, the Imperial Remnant team uses troopers. And if I want to make a Remnant team out of my Knight brothers, that takes up so many troopers that I don't have enough left for an Iden team. So I've been putting Iden on my Veers team as a cleanser. I don't know. I feel like this is just looks like a battle that troopers should be able to do well at. Go again. And we get turn meter. All right. Hit Queel. Okay. Hit everybody. Okay, there's the answer. Because when Dash does get a turn, it's pretty bad. All right, though, let's do this. Cleanse up. And they can kill Iden. If they kill Iden, Piet will resurrect or if they kill Piet, I'm sorry, Piet will resurrect everybody. That's ugly, but we won. 53 banners. Interesting. That dash hit hard, though. That was a nice, firm smack from that dash. Let's see. Let's do the person DeLoreans here. See how politically correct I am? I don't even call them man DeLoreans. I call them person DeLoreans. It's up to you to decide whether that's serious or whether it's just poking fun at wokeism. I'll never tell. Okay, light sides, what? Stack of protection up? Sure, why not? We'll just take a generic cron here. In we go. And I would love to say that I know how this battle's going to go, but they remove turn meter from random characters and mess up my turn order. And after a few moves here, I just have no idea how it's all going to turn out. So we just got to kind of make it up as we go along. Usually works out. Okay, we got one stunned, one dazed. This will get rid of all the debuffs, though, right? Okay, there we go. That gets the shield generator down in one hit. It's pretty good. IG-12 is marked. Probably just need to go after Jar Jar. We love our friend Jar Jar in chat, but we don't like him as a character in the game. That's the deal. All right, let's get him out of here. Throw some bombs, get some blinds on everybody. Look at us go. Who wants this? I don't know. Let's give it to the tank. His temperature's rising. He's got 10 stacks. 10 stacks of I'm too hot. I'm too sexy for this GAC. That's what he's saying right now. Old Geezer Gamer. Probably old enough to remember that song by Right Said Fred. I'm too sexy. I remember when that song came out, there was a lot of like controversy about it. I'm too sexy for my cat. Too sexy for my cat. What do you think about that? I love how that song ends. For anybody who hasn't heard that song, the end of the song, he says, I'm too sexy for the song. And the song just immediately ends. That's it. That's the end of the song. Boris Balkan says, I take everything seriously that someone in a Chewbacca robe says. It's the new symbol of authority. I come before Congress today in my Chewbacca robe. Oh, nice. All right, first order. You know, we could actually chuck the zombie in here. I think when we did this before, we chucked a zombie in here like this. We know that they don't necessarily... Yeah, they may target Kylo unmasked here. I don't know. Let's just take something with a lot of damage. We got armor penetration, crit chance, crit damage, offense. It's a lot of what we want. All right. But we do have the tank revive one here. That's got a ton of crit damage on it too. Let's take that one instead. Jar Jar says, I always like to see enemy Jar Jars down. Nice. Kyber Soze says, non-binary Mandos. I think you could sell it to a woke Disney. Yeah, I got to call them person DeLoreans. Can't just call them DeLoreans because that's the kind of car that was in Back to the Future. So they have to be something DeLoreans. All right, let's do this sweep so that Chombi gets the buff. Oh, and she lost it instantly. Well, that's no fun. I think we're going to do the mass assist here first. Try to work our way up on some stacks of ultimate for SLKR. And he did not come... Oh. Well, that's just silly. Huh. Okay, so what happened there? Zombie dying triggered the Datacron. So, in fact... Crew did not get resurrected upon death. All right, let's stab Morgan Elspeth again. Keep her stabbed. Now let's take that alt. And we've got enough stabs. I think we can just sweep away till victory here. Seems like. Sweep. And I probably should have healed up DACA right there, huh? Not fantastic. Sweep. Sweep. Finally got some Night Sisters dead there. Jump in. All right. Victory. Iden Versio. This feels like a Wampa. But I have 2 Galactic Legends left. And I don't want to drop any more battles. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see what tank. And we are going to work our way through these guys. Again, I think I could clean up this team with less. But when you've got these guys in the bank and ready to use, it feels kind of foolish to me not to just go ahead and use them. Interesting question. If we do the insta-kill here, I think his ability prevents him from being able to be killed at all, right? while Enoch's alive. So I actually don't think we can kill him with the ult. Oh, wow, we just killed him. Oh, because the thing is in Enoch's leadership. And Enoch is not in the lead because it was originally a Moff Gideon lead. Okay. I still kind of don't understand how this Moff Gideon was like taking 0 damage when hit by those stacks of courage that I had. We were getting nothing done. Okay, get the days off over here. Get a drain off. And we go into the alt, and that should be it. Pew. Okay, good. And now we've got Iden. And if Iden can beat my Galactic Legend, I'll be very sad. Iden's a good character, but I don't think she's beaten JMLs these days. But it seems like half the other teams that were on the field are beating JML these days. Because we saw that JML had a bad win rate against... Let's do that. Clean off the buffs. Had a bad win rate against those Night Sisters and against the Saw Gerrera team, both. There's like 2 teams in a row where JML has a pretty bad record. Let's swing this around. Let him take more turns. Everybody's got the buff on that's going to allow him to come back to life. So I guess we just keep working on Shore Trooper because he's like the only viable target right now. And let's go in on Range Trooper here. Let's make him the next viable target. Okay. Get your dazes off me. Get your dazes out of here. We're going to cleanse this Death Trooper off, get those buffs off of him. And we're going to kill Range Trooper with Cal Kestis. Pew! All right. Should be all over now. Yeah, good. 64 banners. We'll take that. Decent win. Full clear of characters. Okay, ship-wise, we've got Leviathan and Executor, and then First Order. Well, this is what we've got to use against said Executor. All right. So refresh this. Target the tank. Basic on the Millennium Falcon. Tenacity up with Outrider. Use the special ability with Rebel Y-Wing. And then look for opportunities and hope that it all works out, I guess. Basic on Millennium Falcon. I take the first move with Millennium Falcon. It does give me a bomb, but then at least when I do the tenacity up, all of the other stuff that they do won't give more debuffs to my Millennium Falcon. That seems to be the way that it works out better. We'll target that TIE Dagger now. Actually, we're just going to do a spin. to get the days off of us. And then we can do some damage to the tie dagger there. Let's bring in the interceptor here and give ourselves some tenacity on our boats again. All right. Let's take the buffs off of the tank. And now let's target the tie dagger again, see if we can somehow magically get 1,000,000 assists. We don't. But I am holding down the number of debuffs that they've been able to put on us. So, okay. Do an area of effect here, just get some damage done. We will redo. And then I will give this turn to Millennium Falcon. And we'll spin again. And he gets off that second move. That's not good. Usually when that happens, we lose. So right now, I feel like I'm playing into a loss. We still don't have the ult yet. Let's target the scimitar. Yeah. Dang. Dang, 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 dang. So, if we let this time out like it is right now, there's no risk that he brings in the fighter. So if he brings in the fighter and he gets like the other good opening lineup with the fighter, that's bad for us. If he's stuck with this scythe in his starting lineup, then at least we can come in and try to clean this up with the Chimera fleet. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're just going to let this time out. And then what's on the field right now will be his starting fleet. I don't know. I think maybe I shouldn't have done the second spin move on Falcon or something. He got to his ult too quickly. You know. I win this battle quite a bit. I don't ever see them bringing in the scythe, though, as reinforcement. That was new, and maybe that's some kind of tech that I'm not used to. Usually the Sith fighter comes in as the first reinforcement. So I don't know, maybe that just gave him the one extra assist that he needed somewhere in there to get to that second skill faster. I don't know. We'll let it time out, though, anyway. 37 more seconds to go. And then I will try to clean this up with Chimera. The Chimera fleet is what was a good counter against the Sith fighter version of this opening lineup. Although, you know, if I let him reinforce and got the Sith fighter version of the lineup, I think it's bad because they have turn meter, right? Them having turn meter is going to be bad for us. Defeated enemies 4. Defeated enemies 4. So that says he has no other reinforcements. He just had that one reinforcement. I didn't know that. Or I didn't pay attention to it before going into the battle. Maybe we could have used that to our advantage at some point. We actually could have that TIE bomber in this lineup if we need it. Okay. Let's get in here and try to make this work. TIE Defender, stun the tank, work our way around, try to get an insta-kill on that scythe if we can. Well, there you go. The turn meter on the enemy ships is just a killer. Literally just killed us. 2 ships down. Well, let's just keep clicking away. See if there's some way we can salvage this. In we go. Come on, we need big damages. There we go. Got another ship down. Okay, he's got his second half of his ability off. We're going to target this tank. Get rid of that. Come on. Let's go. All right. In a land of no reinforcements, that battle goes better. That's crazy, though. I'm very curious why he's got it set up like that. Clearly, he intends to make sure that that scythe is the first reinforcement. It's interesting. Okay, here we go. Executor versus Executor. He is Relic 8. So that should mean, in theory, we get to go first. We get to kill his Xanadu blood. Pew, 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 pew. That gives us an advantage. So he'll do his mass assist. Now I'm going to do a not assist to try to keep his punishing one from having this is interesting. Man, it is tempting right here to just heal up because we don't have death mark on any of our ships. Xanadu Blood's going to die in one more hit. And I think I would rather have a full life Xanadu Blood. And I'll still have my reinforcement next turn. So let's do this. Okay. We'll put the death mark over here on his Hound's Tooth. Okay. And we'll try to stun his Hound's Tooth here. He gets the heal off. We desperately need this chaff to be gone off the Hound's Tooth. That's killing us right now because we're not making any progress toward the ult. So that's bad. All right, he gets his second reinforcement. There we go. We'll take this shot back here. Lose our Xanadu Blood. Now we can bring in our Hound's Tooth. And unfortunately, I guess we're going to have to target this Razor Crest. I mean, that looks like kind of what we're stuck with at the moment. Let's just blow it up. Kind of inefficient, but, oh, wait, what? I'm taunting. That ship didn't have a Razor Crest mark on it, did it? I'm so confused. All right, let's throw this down. Try to get some counterattacks in here. That would be good. All these ships turned a little bit sideways because that's the new thing in fleet. All right, there's the alt, so we can get rid of his capital ship and work our way through this. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have healed that Xanadu blood in the second move there, but it kind of felt like the right move in that situation. All right, let's take Malevolence in here. We'll throw in a Plo. We've still got our own first order fleet, but I think Malevolence is probably better at beating this than our own first order fleet. All right, missile coming in. Going on Sunfac. That's a fac. I guess we'll cleanse, get the lightning bolt going. All the usual suspects. Put some buzz droids here. Put some buzz droids everywhere. But that means that we've got to very quickly get onto and stay on the silencer. We'll bring in spy here. We get the silencer targeted, so we're going to definitely focus that. Okay. Super lucky on that spy reinforcement, getting the silencer as our secondary buzz droid target, or taunt target, I mean. We're just going to take a basic here. All right, done. That's full clear. Yes. 1735. It's okay. I mean, it's not a good full clear. 1800 is a good full clear. So we dropped a fleet battle, and we dropped a battle against the remnant, right? That's it. So we only dropped 2 battles. That is actually really bad banners. 1735 is pretty bad banners for only 2 dropped battles. Yeah, that's a pretty big window of opportunity for my opponent. I don't feel like he's going to have a problem clearing me. I just got to hope that he's going to drop a few battles along the way. He did have a few important galactic legends on defense, though. So he had Leia here, and he had Ahsoka and Rey. With 3 galactic legends, that means that he still had, what, 6 on offense, though? Yeah. I don't know. I'd give myself a 50-50 chance to win this, I would say. There's a 50-50 shot, and it's just based on, will my opponent, drop a battle somewhere? I also need to change up this. Let's edit our defense and go here. I do want to try the Bad Batch versus something. So I'm going to work on getting better Bad Batch stuff. Or better Bad Batch mods, at least. I mean, Queen Amidala team is what it is. The extra characters on here aren't pulling their weight too much. I guess I wouldn't mind. I could put that cup on here. I might do that. I might do that. I'll put in Lumi as filler. And worst case, if I forget to go in there and adjust it, I'll have Lumi. But I can do that. Put cup in there. Or maybe timed cup for the Padme team, one or the other. Anyway, forgot my Bad Batch. We'll put mods on the Bad Batch to get them reasonably timed. And then we'll look at trying to use that for like a Qui-Gon counter or something like that to try to get a reliable way to work around Qui-Gons. To let Qui-Gons be Qui-Gons. All right, let's do like, I don't know, what do you guys think? Like, let's do like 3 Alpha League games. That'll be about an hour. I think I can mess around for an hour here without putting myself too far behind. I probably should just quit and get back to doing my updates, but I kind of want to play a little bit of Alpha League. So let's play a couple games over there, have some fun, and see what happens after that. Probably me getting off of here and going and doing more updates. Most likely what'll happen. For anybody who hasn't seen this game, it's a combination character builder, card game, trait builder. There's a bunch of different things you have to do in the game. It has 12 total skills, and for every given round, 4 of the skills are banned. So you'll have 8 out of the 12 that are present and available for you to build your characters around. And with that, with the traits that the characters have, the way they work now, and with the artifacts that you can get in the game, there's really a lot of variability. It doesn't feel like one of those games where every game is kind of the same sort of build in the same way and the same result. It really, I guess what I would say is you play for first, but a lot of the times you actually end up playing for second. If somebody else in the round just gets super lucky, like hits exactly the right traits and a good artifact, like if somebody gets a copy ninja as their first artifact and they go on a win streak with that, nobody catches up. It's just a loss for the rest of the people in the arena. So you end up kind of playing for second, but still, it's fun. I think it's fun. What are we going to do here? We could play James. Let's re-roll. Looking at Helsing here. Helsing is a fun character. I like Helsing. Cull would actually probably be better than Helsing in this particular matchup, but we're going to go with Helsing. By the end of the game, Helsing has to be built in a way where you touch your opponent and they just die instantly. If you don't get the burst damage out of Helsing, you probably can't win. It is, we're playing a vulnerable character into shield characters. So we're going to have a secondary source of damage, because if we build like max vulnerability and the shield character builds max shields, we'll just kind of cancel each other out for the most part. So we're going to have to build a secondary damage source. And I think for this particular arena, we might be looking at mech. Or we could look at doing shield ourselves. We could do, vulnerable is our champ. So each champ has a main skill, and we are a vulnerable champ. Colin's Apple and Evil Spreads are both really good. we'll start working on Colin's Apple and evil spreads. I'll discard for a reroll here, and we'll just keep focusing in on the same 2 traits. And we pick up 2 Colin's Apples and 2 evil spreads and 1 future reroll to be used later. So not great results, but you know, these are both decent skills for Helsing. Toxin skills, random skills, none of this is good enough. Gatling gun, legendary in 4 rounds. There's a lot of good legendaries here. The crit legendary isn't that great into mech. I think Toxin would be the worst result for us. But everything else would be okay. I think vulnerable or spell or even weaponry, if we got those legendary skills for free, would be pretty fantastic. Who's the one that looks like an angry womble? What's an angry womble? I don't know what a womble is. Who's the one that looks like an angry womble? This guy? Moriarty? This is another version of Helsing. This is Leia. Basically, it's a little character that's inside of a mech. But if you're talking about this one, Moriarty, that's a Toxin champion. Okay, going on a losing streak here at first. Helsing as a character, I find that Helsing is really hard to play right away. Unless you happen to get super lucky with the skills that you get, his first levels are pretty brutal. So we didn't get a good trait finished, and I'm just going to go ahead and take a little bit of a losing streak here at the start. I'm sitting on 700 gold. You gain interest. If you don't spend your gold, you have the potential to gain interest. But like the Toxin champion here is very strong in the early game, and you know, we're very weak. The Yukis are very strong in the early game. This champion's strong in the early game. So we're going to have to lose. We're going to have to hope for a good Easter egg, and then we're going to have to turn it around in the middle. And basically, once we turn it around, that has to be it. All right, there is a vulnerable up, and we get to go first here because we're losing. So we'll grab that vulnerable. Colin's Apple number 3. That's pretty good. So if we get another Colin's Apple, we can finish it. All right. And if we go into shield, we've really got to buy a lot of shield. We've got to get to the flying shield ability, which will send a damage source across the screen every time we get a shield. So we got to take things that give us shield. Wind missile is not bad. It's a damage source. Evil spreads here. Do I want to take... I think I do want to take wind missile. I just need all the damage sources to trigger vulnerable stacks. So, yeah, I think that'd be good. Dread Scream. He did tons of damage with his basic attacks. His normal attacks. How did he do that much damage with normal attacks? Good gravy. Woof. Okay, we will take the wind missile here. Take spell sharpness here. Attack tide. We are not getting shields, guys. We're not getting offered shields. Evil spreads number 4. So now we've got 3, and we need 4 to finish that trait, and we've got 4, and we need 5 to finish that trait. Oh, are we going to win here? No. I was going to say, is this the end to our losing streak? But it turns out it was not. We're down to 20 life, so we got to spend money here, and we got to start trying to turn around this losing streak. So let's go. We got a couple shields there. That was good. We don't get any of what we want. We're going to re-roll it. We do get Colin's Apple, and that changes things a lot. That changes things a lot. Okay, so we're going to take Flaming Weapon here. Attack Suppression here. Attack Suppression here again. We're going to start taking all kinds of weaponry. Here's Flying Shield. Here's Gear Rewind. Shield Surge is up. We can look for... Fragility is good. We'll take Fragility. Fragility just every second gives you stacks of Vulnerable, which is pretty good. So we got front line with our egg, and that gives us an extra mech at the start. Ooh, this is interesting. Magic resistance. There's a lot of magic damage in the game right now. I don't mind. I don't mind magic resistance. Our champion is going for burst damage. We want to be very bursty. But at the same time, you know, if we don't get as much burst as we want, staying alive gives us a second longer to keep going with that. We'll just keep taking vulnerable skills here. Preemptive Pain is good. We'll take 2 stacks of Preemptive Pain. Fragility again. And now we'll discard this. And we really want to get Evil Spreads finished. I would really like to see Evil Spreads finished. But Colin's Apple says every time you get a normal attack, you trigger 40 vulnerable, you apply 40 vulnerable stacks. So that's really good for us. If we can get our attack speed up, we can just, you know, be stacking with every basic attack. That's pretty good. Boom Zarame looks like they're the champion to beat here. They got this 240 hit points per victory. That is absolutely the best first trait to get on this character. So he is currently the person to beat in this round, and probably we're playing for second. Like I said, if people get lucky, they just get the right things. It's really, really hard to overcome it. And I believe that this player is a very high-ranked player. So it's not like he's going to do something dumb and let us back in the game, right? He's not just going to let everybody back in. We'll take the mech here because we did get that front line, and I don't mind trying to make our mechs better. Here's another Fragility. Oh, boy, I really, really, really want to finish it. There's Justice Must Fail for us. Oh, this is horrible. Now we've got 4 each. All of our slots are full. And as soon as we get the last one for either one of these, we're going to have to remove one of the ones that we got. That's annoying. Thunder Force, I think, is better. Just a ton of damage up front. Okay, we're going to discard this and look for a reroll. Still not finishing out our second trait. But that extra mech is doing work. Looks like an Anteater. Yeah, so you were talking about Moriarty. Moriarty. Self-destruct is more damage. Steady boost is more damage. Drones gain hit points is good, but every 1 second drones putting on vulnerable, I think, is probably better. So we've got kind of a barrel build going on because we have 3 different skills that we've ended up going into. We got vulnerable, weaponry because the way things are working out with our traits, but then mech because we got the front line. So we're kind of all over the place, but it's a combination of damage and survivability, so it's not bad. We need to start getting some of these skills to 24 though, so we can start capping them out. I think I will take the vulnerables, just keep stacking for damage. Spell, we're not really going into spell, so we're going to skip that. This gives us crit chance. We'll take it. Radar malfunction, enemy drones are more vulnerable. That's the burst damage. We're sitting on 500. I'm going to sit on 500, collect interest for a round or two. We've been beating our opponents pretty well, and then of course we run into this. Oh boy, we just got wrecked. So that's what I said, shield champions kind of cancel out vulnerable champions. So I was doing vulnerable, they were doing shield, and they won. We took a Gatling gun, so we're just doing more faster attacks now. And let's hone in on getting some weaponry here. Shields. Curse interference we'll take. You and drones gain hit points we'll take. Damage reflection, we don't have that as a damage source yet, but it's hard to pass up corrosive curse. Let's take corrosive curse. Preemptive shield, I wouldn't mind preemptive shield. Preemptive shield we take, oh come on, let's re-roll it, and we don't get anything. Preemptive shield I'll take just to cancel other players putting preemptive vulnerables onto us. So if they try to put vulnerable, our shields will cancel that one for one. We've got flying shield as a damage source already. I think we'll just take more preemptive shields. That's not bad. All right, come on, finish. This thing is refusing me to give me either the finisher for fragility or evil spreads. We're really in a bad spot on our traits. We've failed to execute on the traits. Most characters now have 2 or even 3 traits. 4 traits here, 2 here, 2 here. I guess there's a couple other people that are still struggling to get their second trait, but man, we're getting brutalized there. Shield is the best for us here. I really don't want spell, and shield's all that's left, so we'll take shield. Okay, and then what are we going to do for... Are we going to take drone hit points? I think it's not bad. And then we do want to take corrosive curse here. So corrosive curse will increase our damage for all of the different vulnerable skills that we have. And since that's kind of, you know, all of our stuff, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 different skills. That will take us from, 36 extra damage to 72 extra damage per everything we do. And this character is just generating shields way too fast. The increased attack rate that we got from weaponry actually hurts us here because this character generates shields whenever we hit with a basic attack. So we're going to lose pretty quickly here. We beat Boom Zarame, I think, and we might beat Lone Blob at this point, but we're not going to beat Loonsack. So Boom Zarame, was the person to beat at first, but it looks like if we can beat this guy, he's got 6,000 hit points, but our mechs give us a bunch of hit points, and our initial shield... the initial shield that we had really helped us a lot there right at the start of the fight, but we still couldn't do enough damage. He's got over double our hit points because he got that, remember I said that trait that he got gives him extra hit points every time he wins a battle. He got that so early and stacked up to 6,000 hit points. So we're not able to compete with that, unfortunately. Let's increase our damage here. I don't know. Corrosive Curse. Yeah, I think we just spread the build out too much. Reroll. And this thing is just absolutely refusing to give us our second full trait. That hurts us a lot. Okay, Lone Blob, I think he's out now. So this is looking like a third place for us. Unless there's a miracle, which I don't think there will be. We'll take a couple of attack suppression here. Gear Rewind for a few more hit points I don't think is the answer. So this is it. Who do we play next? Loonsack. He'll beat us and we'll be out and we'll have a third place win. That's okay. That's all right. We did the best we could with the things that we were given. I think maybe if we would have just focused more on vulnerable, maybe we would have got there, but I don't know. Don't know. Not getting our traits, just brutal. And that guy had like 5 traits completed. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 completed traits. And remember how I said if somebody gets a copy ninja and goes on a win streak? He got a first artifact copy ninja and just went crazy with it. So we should have been able to beat this guy if we could have got another trait. I feel like either one of those traits, if we would have finished them, we would have gotten second place. But okay, so we got robbed by RNG. What's your ranking now since the reset? Oh, absolutely garbage. I'm unranked, completely unranked. Unfortunately, in this game, when you're ranked low, you get points for almost any placement. Like, you don't have to get high placement to move up. So basically, moving up into the highest ranks is just a matter of how many games you play. And players that come in and just play a ton of games, I mean, you're not going to beat them going straight to the top. Like in the last round, if you look at the top 10, there were some people that were up there after playing 300 games. There were some people up there after playing 600 games. So players that like just play well every time and max out their wins do move up faster, but it's kind of a function of how many games you play. I think spellcasters have this one in the bag. There's no vulnerable, there's no toxin, and there is frost. So I think Mina, for example, should win this. Yeah, everybody's picking the Minas and the spellcasters. So we've got 3 spellcasters in here. Somebody else picked Samuel as well. That's interesting. Samuel with spell, there's an interesting build. We're going to see if we can put it together where we just go crazy with magic damage and use our passive skill on this guy to kill people instantly. See if we can make it work out. All right. Repelling frost stacks I don't think is something that works out long term. So we pretty much have to take Beast Fangs here. Heart of Rage is a pretty big deal. And so is Volcano. There is evasion in here, so I think I'm kind of forced to take the Blood Tracer. And here we're kind of stuck. Herald of Rage, Magma Skin. What do we take here? So if we've got a 3 and a 3, we could take a 4 or a 5 and still be fine. So we can start taking this Herald of Rage. Last skill, Beast Fangs. So we didn't get a trait, we just got bits and pieces of 3 different traits. All right, barrel theory. I love barrel theory. I think it's super fun. Barrel theory just gives you 2 skill in your lowest skill. So just whatever's on the bottom gets +2. Obviously, you want these numbers to go up because you have skills that are increasing your levels. But just leveling up all of these skills for free with the barrel lets you get a lot more picks on your traits, which is good for us. We got a spell book here, all kinds of spell book stuff here. Obviously, we would strongly prefer to have inner fire. That's what we want for our champ. But, I mean, we just got to take what we're given, I guess. Okay, Blood Tracer, we get that finished. We got to finish that. And then Herald of Rage, so we can pick a couple more trait pieces up. The Blood Tracer removes dodge. So every time you cast your ultimate, it reduces the enemy's evasion by 10%. And at the end, we should be casting our ultimate. If we get the build to go off, we'll be casting our ultimate quite frequently. And that will give us... yeah, it'll give us a lot of what we need to win, reduce their evasion. So evasion won't work against us in the end game. I think we'll just take this Flame Surge. Man, I'm sitting on 340 gold back. What do we got here? We got a 3 and a 4, 3, which means we could take a 4 or a 3, not a 5. Dread Siege, Living Volcano, Combat Instinct. I mean, I want all this stuff. We're going to discard this and save a reroll for later. We're on a little bit of a win streak, so I'm not too concerned about trying to build interest. I'm more concerned about keeping my win streak. We get to pick last here, so we'll get whatever garbage is left over. This is Inner Fire on it. This has Spell plus Inner Fire, so that's the best for us. Inner Fire here, not fantastic. We're going to get Mech or Spell. I didn't see the spell there. I thought it was both mech. Nice. We got more spell, which is, they don't know it, but that's exactly what we want. Okay. We can't take that. Now we have to reroll. And we can finish Praetor. It gives us Repel all Frost stacks, which... I don't know. It's not good, but maybe against, a Mina or a champion that's actually building Frost. If they can out-Frost our Inner Fire, it'll help us. But as long as our Inner Fire is higher, whenever they put Frost on us, it simply just cancels out some of our Inner Fire stacks. So the ability to clear our Frost stacks is useless. But we picked that trait twice. And now we don't ever have to see that trait again in our options, right? So it removes that trait from our option pool. Ugh. 3, 4. Kind of can't take a 5. But I'll take 1. I'll just take 1. And next time we get something, we'll just earn the reroll if we can't finish one of our other, or get a trait for something we've already got. We're going to get options on the next 2. So each time these get to 4, we're going to level up and get another look at a trait. So we got Barrel Theory kicking in. We're going to get each turn. We're going to get one more look. A turn is whenever you see this card. So each thing that you do in the game is listed on this little like scrolling thing up here. So now we're fighting a monster. Next it'll be a skill pick. After that it'll be a fight again. So each time you get a skill pick, that's what they call a turn in the game. Okay, attack suppression, steady boost. We'll take attack suppression because it's good enough. Inner fire here, spellbook here. Frost counter is pretty good, actually. We'll take that. Magic surge. And then we'll sit on 580 gold. We'll take a look here. Nothing we want. Take a look here. Herald of Rage. Okay. So now Beast Fangs or Herald of Rage is really what we have to see. All right. Now our barrel's just going to be filling our skills up. It'll be a while. We got to start hitting 12s. There's no healing. This is what Gaze of the Elder is one of my favorite artifacts in the game, but there's not actually a heal in the game. Magic resistance, it's not helping us win. It helps us stay alive. Meditation exercises, get a bunch of spell skills. That sounds good to me. All right, here's a spell book. Preemptive Frost is really good about slowing things down. In the end game, I wouldn't mind having that. Frostfire Storm, on the other hand, is another damage source. We'll take that. Take all these inner fires. Take another look here. Reroll it. It's Living Volcano. All right, we can take one more Living Volcano, I guess. All right, we beat the other Samuel. That's a good sign. Alrighty then, this is Frost. We're re-rolling that. We're going to try to really focus on spell and inner fire only. That's spell. This is inner fire, flame surge, wild power. Boy. Let's take the wild power. Now we're getting some inner fire. This is damage. We'll take that first. Living Volcano again. This time we got to re-roll. We got to finish one of the other traits before we can take any more Living Volcano. All right. I got to check. I think she got Pluviophile early. If she got Pluviophile, she did. Shoo! So that character, we're going to have to do the trait where our passive reduces their magic resistance. So we're going to have to start paying attention and looking for that. Out of all the stuff that's up here, I would prefer to have Frost. So I grab the Frost here. I get Frost at 12. That gets me another look. Living Volcano again. Come on. Let me finish one of my other skills. Can't do it. Can't do it. Evasion Denial, Evasion Training. Free reroll I think we'll take. Preemptive Frost. Slows things down a bit. There's inner fires, attack suppression. We'll take the arrogant aura here. We'll wait until after the combat. See if we can get a win here. Ooh, that was a big hit. Oh, come on. We got it. We got her. All right. So spells, the interesting thing, people go after spells because it allows you to do an ultimate as soon as you start the game. And it also gives you a boost to your ultimate damage. Well, our character actually, when we do an ultimate, we don't do any damage. We're damage free on her ultimate. But by being able to do the ultimate and trigger all the things that this character can do as part of doing an ultimate is still worth it. And you also get a magic damage boost, and we're going to be doing a lot of magic damage. So that's the idea. So you can see our Burning Passion, that's our passive where it does magic damage based on the number of stacks of inner fire that we have. That is our main damage source. We're doing half of our damage from that passive. Pluviophile, the skill that she got, every time she does an ultimate, she stacks her magic resistance, and that stacks to stupid levels. By the end of the game, you can be like 93% magic resistant, and it makes it ridiculous for a build like mine to win. But we do have a passive that Preemptive Frost again, I think we will take. We'll just pick skills here because we've got to spend some of our money. Cremation, let's take Wild Power here. Reroll this. Arcane Storm, that's fantastic. Okay. And we get 3 looks at our trait. Let me finish something here, please. There we go. All right, Herald of Rage, we can finish that. And we get to finish Beast Fangs. Now we can start picking up more Living Volcano. And then we got to look for the one that reduces magic damage. That has to be our next one. We can get Copy Ninja, which would be pretty fantastic. We could also get a secret book and get an extra legendary skill right here. The legendaries here, Evasion's the only bad one. So we're going to go ahead and take that. We get Unrivaled Frenzy. That's going to give us tons of basic attacks, which is good for us because our passive triggers off of our basic attacks. 400 gold in the bank. Living Volcano again. Ice Shards. We're going to get more looks at our traits. Our barrel's going to give us, a couple 12s here in the next couple rounds. Now we're starting to get our build to the end. We've got that Arcane Storm. So when we take our first move of the game, it will be our ult. Our ultimate gives us 200 inner fire stacks. There's also spell stuff that we have here that gives us inner fire stacks from casting our ult. Plus we're reducing the enemy's evasion, and all of this stuff is kind of adding together. So you'll see, we'll do that first ult, and then the enemies just kind of disappear. That's the build we're going for. Frost, Ice Blade, I guess we'll take. Rage here. Spell tattoos, more inner fires. Okay, here we go. So, bam, our stacks are going to go straight to 600, and she's Pluviophile, so it's not impressive. Like, we're taking our time working through her life. Okay. Magma Skin, I don't want any of this stuff. Magma Skin again, Combat Instinct. We could take Combat Instinct, but I kind of don't want to. Reroll. Magma Skin, that's all we get. Okay, let's take the magic resistance here. When you deal damage, generate mana. We want to chain from one ult to another. Blood Rage here. Life Plunder we'll take, I guess. We don't want any of this. Hey, we finished Living Volcano. That gives us inner fire stacks from the ultimate are going to be 8 times level. 8 times 23 is another, oh my God, lots of, look at that. 1,500 stacks of inner fire. 1,500 stacks. So our passive there, 5,300 damage over 9 instances. We're doing 600 damage or more per hit from our passive. When we get to 40 spell, our magic damage is going to go plus another 30%. And that's when we should really see the lights go off. Okay, anti-freezing will take, it doesn't really, I don't think it's much here. Let's re-roll this and begin the combat with 150 more stacks of inner fire. So bang, and that was fast. 4 instances of burning passion for 3,600 damage. So 900 damage each from our passive. So normal attack lands deal magic damage by 50% of our inner fire stacks. And then we have a skill that lets it be 70% of our inner fire, or 80% of our inner fire stacks. So here's the skill, Dread Siege, that reduces the enemy magic resist by 4. We'll start taking that whenever we see it. Arrogant Aura, I think we do want. Here's more spell book. Let's just focus on spells and really try to finish out. Okay, we clicked a bunch there and didn't get anything. Take anti-freezing here. All right. We're still doing tons of damage, even though she's got ridiculous magic resistance. We still got enough. Pretty good. We really need to get that spell to 40, though. Come on, let's go. That's more physical damage, so that gives us an alternate way to beat her. So we don't beat her with our spell damage; we beat her with our physical damage. Ice Blade Storm, I'll take. Here's another spell book. We're at 38 spell, but it really just doesn't want to give up that last couple spells. Come on. All right. And we take on King Mog, the other Samuel, and that looked pretty good. We haven't lost. Is that true? 17 wins in a row? That's insane. Just give me the spell books. Come on. Judgment Day, we can't pass that up. As much as we want spell books, we're not going to pass up Judgment Day. All right, we're all in. We're all spent. We're at 38 inner fire and also 38 spell. We're definitely not buying skills unless it's those two things, though. Or if they offer us an alt from another skill, I guess we would buy it. 2,200 stacks. Not enough, though. Yeah, she got her alt first now. I'll take Frost here. Maybe that'll slow her down a bit. Dread Siege. Okay, reroll this. Come on, give us a spell book. This will finish off Inner Fire. We can lose quite a bit against her, and we'll end up going to 5-2, where we get a free legendary skill. So we could still salvage this against her. But, a character with... Let's look at her magic resistance and see how ridiculous it's gotten. 697, 87% magic resistance. All right, there's 40 inner fire. We're actually going to re-roll this. Even though these are inner fire skills, we really want to get the spell books. Come on. Dread Siege. One more Dread Siege would really be a big deal. That would really be a big deal. We're not going to get to 24 on these skills anytime soon, though. And even though healing's not a thing in this arena, she's got a skill that lets her ultimate damage has basically spell vamp. So 2 evasions, 1 health. 1 health gets us a level. And if by some miracle it's dread, it's not. Okay, we still got chances. We still got one more loss. We need to pick skills fast here. Boiling tar. There we go. We got another spell book. Come on. Okay, we got spell books. We got spell books. So we'll get spell to 4. I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters at this point. I don't think there's anything that we can do. We'll take Sky Splitter Slash to do half of her damage right away, but a frontline, I don't think frontline is going to help us that much. I guess we'll take another level in Hex. Max out Hex. Come on, come on, come on. Reroll that. Dread Siege. That, I don't know. It might give us a chance. Reduce magic resist by, oh, never mind. It's a flat amount. So we got to reduce her magic resist by 1 billion. Yeah. Yep, she's just got too much stuff. Pluviophile. Pluviophile just straight up killed us. She was at 87% magic resist. At the end, she was probably over 90. So our character, our whole build was around just blasting people with that magic damage from our passive. And she built so much magic resist that we couldn't possibly kill her. Literally like the only thing in the game that's that strong against that build. That Samuel build is insane though. It is insanity. How much damage you can do with that build. Spell build and just use your passive to just, well, I mean, you saw how fast it was killing people. It's pretty insane. Jar Jar says, nice round. Who is your favorite SWGOH character? My favorite SWGOH character, I mean, I have 2 favorite characters, but they're not the best in the game. In SWGOH, I love Kylo Ren unmasked. Like back in the day, his kit's just simple. He's a tank and he's really good at tanking. And for the longest time in the game, he was just like unique in the fact that he was that kind of tank. I also like Enfys Nest for a lot of the same reasons. Her kit's simple. She's nearly unkillable. You put a bunch of tenacity on her and it's just very straightforward. I liked Enfys Nest in the movie. I liked her in the game. Of course, both of those characters now are pretty lame, but those are a couple of my favorite characters in SWGOH for different reasons. Moriarty. I'm going to try Moriarty here. I've been playing around with a Moriarty build where I basically build him as a vulnerable champion. So when Toxin and Vulnerable are both available in the same arena, I build him for Vulnerable and Toxin. And like in this arena, we get a little bit of Frost, so we can try to control the other players a little bit by, chilling them out. So Moriarty's like super strong, really early game. He's not that great at the end of the game, but I am liking this vulnerable build. 70 armor. This is duration of ultimate skill plus 3 seconds. I think we'd rather have the res pathogen. We'll take that. I'll save all my money. The first round, basically, let's see. There's a vulnerable skill showing, so I'm not going to re-roll it. But you get an artifact after your first battle. So I typically like to save my money, go into my first battle, and then once I pick my first artifact, then I know. And, if the first artifact is something that gives you value by spending money, then you'll have like the maximum amount of money in the bank to get started with it. Something like specialization or keep hammering or something like that. that gives you a benefit based on, you know, buying skills. So now we'll see this first artifact. And we'll try to pick something good for Moriarty. Health skills, Bounty Hunter, keep hammering. Bounty Hunter, I think, is actually pretty good on Moriarty. We'll try to go on a win streak and maximize our gold through a win streak. Early on, it's based on how much damage you do. Your damage is a combination of how many monsters you've killed in the game. I'll take Poison Surge here. So we won't spend a lot. We'll spend a little bit. We'll try to collect interest and also be on a win streak. But basically, Bounty Hunter says when you win, your damage times 25 gold. So if we won right now, we would get 50 gold. If you have 4 little swords by your name, you'd get 100 gold. Later on in the game, where you have like 7 swords by your name, you can get, you know, 175 gold. So it's it pays off throughout the whole game. All right, Corruption Breath I think is probably the best here. Getting some toxin skills. It doesn't seem to want to give us any vulnerable stuff. I'll take Radar Malfunction just to make everybody else's mechs weaker. Here's Death Touch and Curse Surge. Okay, that feels pretty good to me. Accelerated Onset. On normal hit, trigger your passive skill. Is there any reason to think that we would make an attack build out of this? We would not. We would not be making an attack build out of this. So I think we just do Accelerated Onset from the choices we have here. I'll go second. We have Mech. We have Frost. I think Frost is probably the thing that I would like best here. Work on a little bit of control. We took a loss against that Yuki. What did he have that was so fantastic? He got Taste Purple. He got a bunch of rare skills. And Evasion? Yeah, he must have just got good rare skills. And, you know, dunked us pretty quickly. Crit Denying. I don't mind Crit Denying into this arena. This is a Toxin skill. We'll go ahead and click on it. Take our free reroll here. When you take damage, poison the enemy, or Death Touch. Yeah, I think we'll take that. Okay. Get Accelerated Onset again, so we'll go ahead and stack that up. This looks like a loss. Yeah, Cull hit us with a big hit there. Bad Puppy. He got Copy Ninja. Come on. Come on. Let's do Vulnerable here. Let's keep increasing the Toxic Backlash. I mean, it's given us tons of Toxin. I want Vulnerable. And it won't listen to me. Preemptive Poison. And then we'll take that. And we got Cold Wound up, so we'll leave it. Okay. Black Serpent will eventually want Accelerated Onset. All right. So we got 2 4s and a 3. That could force us to lose, but that's okay. To lose one of our picks. All right. We should pick up a little mech or health along the way if we can, just because we are in the arena that poisons everybody every 3 seconds. So if we could build up a little bit of resistance to the poisoning, that would be good. Here's Preemptive Pain. I like that. And more Preemptive Poison. I like that. Accelerated Onset. We actually finish a trait early on. That's good. Poison Lingering, let's take. All right. Now, this is a good test of where we're at with our character. We're getting some decent vulnerable stacks built up. We're getting between 150 and 200 poisons on him. So 71% damage with poison, 20% with vulnerable. Kind of surprised at that, actually. Keep hammering. I don't mind keep hammering. Death race. Let's re-roll and try for something better. Evasion 15%. How much do we want to evade? Not that much. Let's Easter egg it. All right, more preemptive poison. And I think, let's take the hit points here, re-roll this. I'm not getting as much vulnerable as I want, but I'm getting a lot of toxin. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to sit on some gold for a second, wait for this egg to hatch, and in certain circumstances, the egg might change what I want to do. Get 2 more turns for that to hatch, 3 more turns. Okay, so I think I'll sit on money for 3 turns. I don't want to sit on too much, though, because we got to win to make use of our bounty hunter. All right. Spell, toxin. Okay, we've got some vulnerable showing. We can sit on 230 gold. Let's try to get another win here. But see, if it were to give us frontline, then, for example, we would want to take that mech vulnerable. So I think maybe we're waiting. That's nice. It gave us, another 125 gold for the win there because we're on a win streak with our bounty hunter. So that's nice. Nice chunk of change there. We go 3rd in the carousel here. Poison is probably what we're going to have to take. If somebody else takes the poison, we'll take mech. All right, let's get that poison. Grab that up. 23 toxin. It's quite a lot. Passive skill, faster, or aggregated outbreak. We've got 3 skills we're working on already. Oof. All right, let's discard this and build up a reroll. And let's wait till next turn when our egg hatches. We'll sit on 675 gold. And then next turn, we should be able to hit 24 toxin, get a level. Maybe get some other levels from some of these lower level things. We'll see. We'll see how we want to spend our money after this. This is looking like a loss for us. She'll get her ult, and then things will go downhill quickly. Oh, wow. We killed her before she got an ult? That player has to... Yeah, okay, never mind. Look, from a skill pattern, I would say they've quit playing. Right? They're not buying skills currently. All right, what did we get? Death Erosion. We got the vulnerable. So that's great for us. Absolutely fantastic. Preemptive Pain feels too good to pass up. I like front-loading that. I do like Vulnerable Mech. That's pretty good. Inflammatory. Aggregated Outbreak is kind of definitely something we will want. Now I've got 4 different skills here, though. It's so bad. We got to finish Res Pathogen or Poison Lingering or something. We'll just take what we're given, I guess. Like this monster will die fast, though, because we got vulnerable stacks and a bunch of preemptive poison. That went quickly. Okay, Res Pathogen. I would like to finish that. All right, let's just click skills. We gotta spend a lot here. There's vulnerable. Reroll this. Reroll this. Plague Infection, reroll this, Corrosive Curse, Anti-Freezing, Antidote, Frost counter? Frost counter. Or if we just take anti-freezing, that might be good. I don't know. I kind of like the control from Frost counter, so we'll take that. Curse formation versus corrosive curse. Let's take the curse formation to get that started. More frost stuff here. I don't mind having a little more health. Gaze of the Elder. We're not in a healing arena, so there's no reason to take that. Let's re-roll here. Evasion chance, mech skills. We'll just go all in. We'll get the extra gold every round. I kind of like that because when you take damage poisoned by 12, that's probably good. Preemptive poison 600 is probably good. Yeah, I like just the idea of staying spent all in because then it also gives us the highest chance of triggering our bounty hunter. We've triggered 775 gold. I consider this first slot to be worth 500 to 600 gold on average. So we've finally exceeded. Oh, that was so close. We finally exceeded our value on, the sort of the average value of the first. That was a big deal. Fighting that guy and winning lets us keep our win streak. We play Crumble J next. That's going to be a tough matchup for us to win. Preemptive Pain to 600 is really good, though. That is really good. Crit Denying, I think we still like that. Modification is more hit points. We like that. All right. Aggregated Outbreak. Reroll this garbage. And we don't get anything we want. Oh. Well, we handily defeated Crumble J. Okay, let's reroll again. Black Serpent will take. Oh, boy. What do we want here? I think we'll take Toxin if... Oh, never mind. We'll take Frost. Okay. Kind of cheated there. It put the Frost right in front of me. So, my opponent was never going to get to that before I did. Oh, and here's Frost. We're at 16 Frost. We got to get to 24 before we kick that skill up. I think we just want vulnerable stuff. Anti-freezing we'll take, though. Poison, I don't know. It just keeps giving us these poison skills. Are we at 40 poison yet? Not yet. Modification. There's 40 poison. And garbage. Discard. All right. 600 stacks of vulnerable coming in clutch there. I don't think we even want this poison blast. Right? There's no combat that's going to last more than 5 seconds in this arena. So I'm not even going to take my ult here. I think offers me the ult again. Vulnerable damage is half our damage, though, so see how that works? We just chunked the enemy down really quickly. About 50-50 between vulnerable and poison stacks. I don't know. Maybe the Cull has a ton of hit points. They do have Reaper. They've got so much of everything, my goodness. All right, we'll take Poison Blast. Maybe the battle against Bad Puppy goes long enough to make that worth it. Mana Drain? I sure would like to finish out this vulnerable stuff. Okay, we get to fight Bad Puppy here, find out how bad it is. Well, we did get to our ult. 5,100 hit points on this guy. What do we need here? What he just did almost all vulnerable damage. Did do some magic damage, did do some poison. So health would help. We'd have to get all the way to 24 health. I don't think we're going to get there. Mech? I don't know. Take that for the life. Frost Plague. And reroll this. Okay. We beat the Yuki here. So when you make an enemy vulnerable, we can poison them. It's probably best. Curse Formation. Probably the best out of what we've got to pick here. Magic Surge. We're not going to get multiple ultimates. Okay. We'll just spend all in because, I mean, if we don't want to have money in the bank and be losing with money in the bank, right? Sky Splitter Slash on this guy. So he did a bunch of damage now up front. I don't know. This is feeling pretty hopeless. 24 Frost would get us a skill level, a trait level. There's Frost. We can take Frost. Take more Frost. There's more Vulnerable. Reroll this. We don't have a reroll. And we're going to end with a bunch of skills in the bank. Look at that. Couldn't finish out another trait. All right, but good run. Second place again. Take it. Is there any chance? Okay, we got it. Curse Interfere. Boy. If we could get another one of those. Curse Interfere? Come on, finish a trait. Finish a trait. Aggregated Outbreak. Get rid of this. Okay. Okay. That actually gives us a small chance. Not big enough, though. Not big enough. All right, that's going to be it. I think did we do like 3 second places in a row? Is that what we got for this match history? Let's look. Okay, we got a third, a second, and a second. Okay, fine. Not getting many firsts. Yeah, ranked. Oh, I'm in the rankings. Look at that. I'm number 46 with 23 games played. 23 games, 23 top 4 counts, I guess, technically. But I would say probably it's 23 games played. But you can see these guys have played, 200 games since the first, almost. So, well, maybe if I just keep slow but steady playing my games and getting second and third place, maybe I'll join them soon. All right, that's going to be it for me for today. Thank you all for hanging out. Appreciate each and every one of you. Oh, we got another question. Do you think Razor Crest to 7 stars takes longer than other hard node bounty hunter ships? Razor Crest to 7 stars. Razor Crest? Razor Crest is farmable now? Question mark? Yeah, I don't think you can farm Razor Crest. So Razor Crest comes out of the shop. So statistically, no no thing takes longer than any other thing. People have long debated the statistics of the game. Just farmable from the rare shop appearance. Whenever I think of farming, I always think of it as, running hard node in the game. There's different categories of drops in the shop. So if you look at the statistics, the Razor Crest is it's a rare appearance in fleet. So it's going to appear far less than a lot of the ships, but it'll appear with the same frequency as, let's say, for instance, Darth Vader or Grievous show up in the characters. But yeah, it only shows up in one slot, and it's a rare drop. And I've had a lot of people tell me that they get everything that they need for the Executor, and they have to kind of, go in here and refresh. Be aware that when you're trying to farm the Executor journey unlocks with a 4-star Razor Crest. So what most people do, once they get all the characters relicked and get this ready to go, you only need 4-star ships to start here. And once this is open and available, whenever this event runs, you can go to the shop and there will be I think there's a crystals for shards, and there may also be a cache for shards, things that you can do. But like when I got my profundity, that's how I had to do it. The profundity journey battles are hard, and your ships have to be complete, and your characters have to be, in some cases, a little higher relic. So I just got the event itself unlocked and then bought the 70 shards that I needed to get the profundity capital ship going. And then later, when I could complete the journey, it just made it easier to get to 5 and 6 stars. So if you can't get Razor Crest fully farmed up to 7 stars, you can still do the journey, make those few purchases out of the shop, and get the Executor, and then come back later and finish it. At the top level, you have to have all your ships to 7 stars. So the only way you can get 80 shards from the quest and unlock the ship for free is to get that all the way to 7 stars. But for people who are willing to spend a few crystals or a few dollars, you just unlock the event, get the Executor from the shop, and then finish out the event later for the extra shards. And it's fine. You'll still get your 80 total shards from the event, even if you do it later. I was wondering if refreshing Bounty Hunter ships once a day would be worth it, or if I could be stuck on Razor Crest anyway, though free to play. Yeah, I mean, if you're free to play, that's your other option, is to just refresh the shop. And if you refresh the shop like once a day or something like that, just to try to see more instances of the shop, that could help you. But yeah, I figured it out statistically one time based on the drop rate in this shop. If you see all 3 of the fleet shops every day, you would get the Razor Crest finished in 32 weeks. I think statistically that's how it went. So from the time that you can see that ship in the shop until you statistically get it, 32 weeks. Some people get it more quickly. Some people would get it longer time than that. But refreshing would help with that. But if you see a 4th shop, instead of 3, it would be 4. Instead of 32, it would be 24. So you'd cut it down to 24-week timeline. It would be a third less time. Like 8 months then? Yeah, from the time that you start farming it till it's done is about 8 months. Again, that's statistically, and it assumes, because the fleet shop, I think, still refreshes only 3 times a day. So that assumes that you see all 3 of those refreshes. All right, y'all. That's going to be it for me for tonight. Hit the like button on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. Subscribe to Discord, notification bell, all those things that you always hear at the end of the stream. This is Darth Loquitur in his Chewbacca robe saying good night, goodbye, and I'll see you in the next holocron.